Hello, hello. Can you hear me well? Hello.
Yes.
Okay. So now, So today, like I have talked to you before in the previous lesson, today we will learn speaking. Especially the topic of our speaking today is about the daily routine. Okay, let's talk about the daily routine. So, firstly, what do you know about the daily routine? What do you know about the daily routine? What does this mean by daily routine in Vietnamese? What does this mean by daily routine in Vietnamese?
Um,
What is daily routine? So, maybe you don't know what our daily routine. So let's look at the picture. Let's look at the picture. So can you see that there is a girl here? There is a girl here, and the girl. What is the girl doing here?
she is swimming.
Swimming. She goes swimming. And how about this? How about this?
She used the computer.
She uses the computer. And how about this one? How about this one?
She washed her hands.
She washes her hand or maybe washes her face. And how about this one?
She go to bed.
She goes to bed. And how about this?
She plays skip.
She skips the rope. Okay, so in here we have many activity, and do you see that this activity that you do every day? These are activities that you do every day. So that the activity that you do every day is the daily routine. So now you understand that in Vietnamese.
Yes.
Okay, so the activity that you do every day is called daily routine. So in today, we will talk about our daily routine. So now I need you to look at the part one. I answer some question to practice speaking about your daily routine. So now, what are daily routine? So now, what are daily routine? What, what are daily routine?
Gọi là thói quen hàng ngày.
Yeah, okay. So do you have some daily routine every day?
Yes.
Can you name me some?
I make my beds.
You make your bed every day. And is
Yes.
there another activity?
I read books.
Read books.
Water plants.
Okay, water the plant. So how about every morning? Let's talk about your daily morning. So what do you often do every morning? What do you often do every morning? So what time? What time do you often start your morning? What time do you often start your morning?
At 7 o'clock.
At 7 o'clock. So what do you do at that time? What do you do at that time?
I get up and make my bed.
So you get up and then you make your bed and
then I do morning exercise.
no, so you do regular morning exercise. Then how about what time do you often have breakfast? What time do you often have breakfast?
I have breakfast at 7:15.
A 7:15. Okay. So what do you usually have at breakfast? What do you usually have at breakfast?
I usually have eggs, bread, and beef.
Egg, bread, and beef. Okay. So do you usually have milk at breakfast? Do you
No.
usually have milk? Oh, okay. So you don't usually have milk at breakfast. And how about school? What time do you often start school in the morning? What time do you often start school in the morning?
At 7:30.
At 7:30. So, what do you usually have at the first period? What do you usually have at the first period? Math, literature, or art?
Is math.
Math. Okay. So that is all about the morning. So let's talk. There are some activity that you can do in the morning. For example, you can get up. For example, I usually get up at 7 in the morning. Then I brush my teeth. Okay, I brush my teeth and I have breakfast at 7:30. At 7:30. Then after 30 minutes at 8, I go to school every day. Okay, so that is my daily morning. So let's talk about the afternoon. So what time do you usually have lunch? What time do you usually have lunch?
I usually have lunch at 11:30.
11:30. So you usually have lunch at 11:30, and you have lunch with your friend or you have lunch with your family.
I have lunch with my friend.
With your friend, okay? Do you have lunch at school or at home?
I have lunch at school.
At school. So what do you usually talk with your friend at lunch? What do you usually talk with your friend at lunch?
Um, I I usually talk with my friends about uh
About
about uh
Do you usually talk with your friend about the exercise at school? Do you talk
yes,
usually the exercises at school? How do you often talk with your friend about your hobbies, for example, your music idol or something?
yes.
Okay. So how about your family? Do you usually have lunch with your family at weekend? Do you usually
Um,
have lunch with your family at weekends?
yes.
Yes, and what do you often talk with them? What do you often talk with them?
I usually talk with them uh um about about study.
About the study at school and anything
Yes,
else? Anything else?
and um
And
and uh
so mostly the study at school. So what time do you finish lunch? What time do you usually finish lunch?
I usually finish lunch at um 12 o'clock.
12 o'clock. Okay. So what do you do after finishing lunch? What do you usually do after finishing lunch?
Um, after finish lunch, I usually take a nap.
You usually take a nap. For how long?
Um, from uh from quarter past 12 to uh 1:30.
A quarter past 12 to 1:30. Okay. So you usually start school at the afternoon at 2 p.m. Do you usually start school in the afternoon at 2 p.m.?
Yes.
Yes. So, okay. So after, so you, what time do you finish school in the afternoon? What time do you usually finish school in the afternoon?
I finish school at uh 4:20 p.m.
4:20 p.m. Okay, so it okay. So 4:20 p.m. So after school in the afternoon, what do you do? Did you play any sport or do you have any hobby?
Um, no.
No.
After school, I come home and take a shower.
Oh, okay. You usually come home and take a shower. Is there any exception? Is there any exception? Có hôm nào ngoại lệ không?
No.
No, really? Okay. So after school, you finish school at at 4:20 p.m. So then you come home and then take a shower. So do you usually do your homework right after school? Do you usually do your homework right after school or you spend it in the evening?
I usually spend it in the evening.
Okay, so you usually spend it in the evening. So that is all about after school. So that is all about in the afternoon. In the afternoon, we can have many daily routine. For example, we can have lunch. I usually have lunch at 12 o'clock later than you, and I usually finish lunch at 12:30. Then at 12, after 12:30, I take a nap until 2 p.m. and then I still started working in the afternoon by studying. Okay, sometime in the afternoon I can play some sport. For example, I usually play the badminton. You know the badminton? Okay, I usually play the badminton. You can play soccer in the afternoon right after school if you have time. So okay, so that is all about afternoon. So let's talk about every evening. So what do you usually do in the evening? What do you usually do in the evening? So how about
I
meal in the evening?
um I have fish. We have fish, beef, and salad.
And you usually have beef, meat, and salad in the evening. So what time do you usually have meal in the evening?
Um, at 6.
6. Okay. So do you usually have meal with your family in the evening or with your or alone? Do you usually have meal with your family in the evening or alone?
Um, I usually have meal with my family.
So you usually have meal with your family in the evening. So after meal in the evening, what do you usually do
Um,
after
I
meal?
us I usually um read books or watching TV.
Okay, so do you help your family to clean the table after meal? Do you help your family to clean the table after meal?
Yes,
Yes. Okay. So how about before meal? Do you have your family to set the table before meal? Set
yes,
the table. So after meal, you usually read books. So how about the homework? Do you usually do the homework in the evening?
yes.
So what time do you start doing your homework in the evening?
I start do my homework at at 7
At 7.
p.m.
At
and
7. Okay.
and I start at 8:30.
8:30. Okay. You finish doing your homework at 8:30. Okay. So what time do you usually go to bed? What time do you usually go to bed in the evening?
I usually go to bed at 10 p.m. in the evening.
Oh, at 10 p.m. Very early, right? And how about before going to bed? What do you usually do before going to bed?
Before going to bed, I usually watch TV and brush my teeth.
You usually watch TV and brush your teeth before going to bed. So, do you often talk with your sister before going to bed?
Yes.
Okay. So, so that is all about the night activity. So you usually go to bed at 10 p.m. and in the evening you watch TV. Okay, so so there are some activities that you can do in the evening. For example, I usually have dinner at 7 p.m. in the evening for 1 hour, then I take a shower. I take a shower until 9:30 p.m. Then I do the homework until 10 p.m. Until 10 p.m. Then after watching TV for 30 minutes, I go to bed at 10:30. So that is all about my evening. Okay. So so that is all about talking about the activity that you can do every day in a day. So let's talk about the difference between the routine and a habit. So do you know the difference khác biệt between routine and habit? Do you know the
No.
difference? Okay, so let me talk to you. So the routine means that the thing that you do in a very exact time every day. And about the habit means the activity that you do every day with repetition. Okay, routine ở đây là kiểu mình ấy thói quen hàng ngày với giờ cực kỳ chuẩn xác thì đấy nó sẽ gọi là routine đúng không ạ? Còn habit như kiểu là thói quen mình làm hàng ngày thôi thì nó sẽ gọi là habit như bình thường. Ok, a routine ngoài ra cũng có nghĩa là the activity that people have to do every day, là những việc mà mình bắt buộc phải làm mỗi ngày. Ví dụ như là mình phải brush teeth mỗi ngày này, mình phải wash clothes mỗi ngày này, mình phải go to school, được không? Còn đối với habit là những cái activity that you often do it for interest, là nhớ rằng habit ở đây là những cái hoạt động mà mình thường làm để cho vui với cả sở thích. Ví dụ như là hàng ngày mình thường đọc sách thì đấy là habit, được không? Hàng ngày mình thường xem phim thì đấy là habit. Okay, so do you know the difference between the routine and habit now? Rồi, đã hiểu sự khác biệt giữa hai cái này chưa? Okay, can you hear me? Because you are muted.
Rồi.
Okay, so that is all about the routine and habit. So do you have any good or bad habit? Let's talk about the good habit first. So do you have any good habit?
Yes.
Yes, I think you already have one. For example, I think that I have a good habit that I usually go to bed before 10 p.m. I think that before 10 p.m. is very early and it is good for your health. So how about you? Do you have any good habit?
Yes.
For example, can you give me for example?
I read books and
You read books, then
I usually finish my homework before going to class.
oh, so you usually uh read books and do your homework before going to class. So how about bad habit?
I watch TV or smartphone. Uh,
So you watch TV or smartphone before going to bed?
yes.
Oh, okay, okay. Um, okay, so how about any bad habit? So, for example, I usually have a bad habit like actually I used to have I no longer have it anymore. I used to eat sweet in the evening, and that is not good for your feet. That you know that. Okay, so that is my bad habit. Another thing is that I usually read books in the dark before going to bed because I love many stories, especially the comic books. I usually read it in the dark and in the dark, and therefore now my eyes aren't good at all. So that is my bad habit. So do you have that bad habit? Do you have that bad habit?
Yes.
Really, you shouldn't have that bad habit. Okay, you should go to bed
Okay.
early and you should read books in the light. Okay, so that is all about the good and the bad habit. So now let's look at the part two. Talk about your daily routine. Okay, so now instead of answering the question, I would like you to talk independently in the part two about your daily routine. Okay, so now I will give you the example or talk about your daily routine. So here is the example about the speech about one daily routine. For example, I have that
Thế
in
con
my
chập
day.
lại xíu.
Okay, so for example, I have that in here is my days are always busy and the same. I usually get up at 4 a.m. After having got up, I clear my bed, clean my face, brush my teeth, and do morning exercise. At about at about 5:30, I wash my dirty clothes and take a bath. I often have breakfast at 6:30. After having had breakfast, I prepare my books and notebook and go to school. I study at school from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. I usually finish my lunch at 11:50 and then I rest and take a nap. In the afternoon, I often learn in the library from 1:30 p.m. till 4:30 p.m. After that, I go to the market and buy food for dinner. I usually finish cooking for my dinner at about 5:30 and have dinner at 6 p.m. In the evening from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m., I often take a rest and read newspaper, listen to music from 7 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. I am self-taught in the school library. I usually get to my living place about the 9:40. Although my daily routine is busy, I am very pleased with it. That's all. So that is an example about a talk about the daily routine. But I hope that you can create your own talk about your daily routine with your own timetable and your own activity. Okay, so now I need you to talk about your daily routine. I will give you how about 5 minutes to prepare a list about your timetable that you the timetable about the daily routine that you do every day. Then after 5 minutes, I will ask you to talk about your daily routine. Is this okay?
Okay.
Okay, so now remember that you will have 5 minutes to prepare about your daily routine. Then you will have 5 minutes to talk about your daily routine. Okay, so remember
Okay.
that example here, in the example here, okay, giống như cái ví dụ ở đây thì đối với trong một bài nói thì tốt nhất là mình nên rất tỉ mật, được không? Ví dụ như là mình có giờ cụ thể đối với những công việc mình làm và mình có trình tự cụ thể, ví dụ như là khoảng sau khi mình ăn sáng xong thì tôi bắt đầu chuẩn bị sách vở để đến trường này. Sau khi đó, after that, được không? Thì chúng tôi go to the market and buy food for dinner. Và nhìn vào ví dụ này nào, Ngọc nhìn vào ví dụ này nào, thì con thấy ở trong ví dụ này thì hầu hết mọi người sử dụng thì gì con?
Cô là thầy hiện tại đơn.
Ok, thì hiện tại đơn, được chưa? Ngoài thì hiện tại đơn ra thì mình có thể sử dụng cấu trúc gì đấy?
Cô
Đây.
là hiện tại tiếp diễn. Lộn thì
Cấu trúc verb in after cộng với cả verb in, được không? Hoặc là before cộng với cả verb in. Ngoài các hoạt động ra thì mình có thể sử dụng những cái trạng từ, ví dụ như là usually này, usually thì always, often thì ở đấy là cái gì con? Các trạng từ gì?
cô là các trạng từ chỉ
Các
tần
trạng từ
suất.
gì? Đúng rồi, chính xác, các trạng từ chỉ mức độ thường xuyên, được không? Rồi, okay, so do you understand what you have to do now? Hiểu mình phải làm gì chưa? Okay, so 5 minutes for you now. 5 minutes
cô
start now. Ơi,
trường tiếng chú, trường bán chú bên tiếng Anh là mình ghi làm sao cô?
bán chú nghĩa là em học ở trường đúng không?
Dạ.
Em ăn trưa ở trường đúng không? Thế thì em cứ ghi
Dạ.
là I have lunch at school là được.
Dạ.
Em cứ ghi là I have lunch at school là được.
Dạ.
Finish?
No.
Okay, so 3 more minutes for you. Finish?
1 minute.
Okay, so 1 more minute. Finish? Is it difficult?
Gần xong rồi cô.
Okay. Rồi. Thế thì mình khi nào đến số 8 mình sẽ bắt đầu nói bài này nhé.
Dạ. I'm finished.
Okay, so let's talk about your daily routine now. So, how about your daily routine?
I usually get up at 5:30 a.m. and brush my teeth. Then I do the morning exercise. At 6 a.m., I usually have breakfast. My breakfast has eggs, bread, and beef. After having breakfast, I wear the uniform to go to school.
Hmm?
I am go to school at 7:15 a.m. I study at a boarding school, so I usually have lunch at school. We have lunch at 11:30, and we take a nap at 12. In the afternoon, when I finish school at 4:30 a.m., I come home and take a shower. After that, I usually have dinner with my family at 5:30. After dinner, I help my parents for clean the table. At 7 p.m., I usually read books, and at 7:30, I have to do my homework. After I do the homework, I always watch TV. Finally, I go to bed at 10 p.m. and before go to bed, I always brush my teeth. This is about my daily routine.
Okay, I think that you are a very, very interesting guy with a lot of activity and very clear timetable. Okay, so I think that you can you have done a very good job. However, you can your talk might be better if you can use some another structure. For example, instead of listing out the activity, you can add the sequence for it. For example, you say that I brush my teeth and I go to bed. Instead of saying that, you can say that before going to bed, I brush my teeth and read a book. So that is all about my interesting day. And in the talk, you can add some adjective to share some of your emotion about the day. For example, you see that read book is very interesting. So you see that I usually read book in the evening because I think that it is very interesting and I love reading story. I think that by adding the adjective in your talk, it would be more intriguing for the listener to listen to your talk about the daily routine. Đấy, thì nhìn chung là bài nói của mình cũng ổn rồi, nhưng mà thay vì mình listing out có nghĩa là mình chỉ liệt kê ra các ấy thôi, thì mình có thể chèn thêm các cái thứ tự về các cái hoạt động đấy. Ví dụ như là thay vì mình nói là tôi đánh răng rồi tôi đi ngủ, đúng không, thì mình có thể đẩy cái hoạt động đi ngủ lên trước. Mình bảo là trước khi tôi đi ngủ, before going to bed, thì tôi đánh răng, I brush my teeth, được không? Đấy là một. Thứ hai là mình có thể chèn thêm một cái số tính từ hoặc là những cái lý do mà mình chọn cái hoạt động đấy, giống như một thói quen thường ngày. Ví dụ như là em bảo là em hay read books, đúng không, thì em có thể bảo là tôi hay read books này bởi vì tôi cảm thấy nó rất là thú vị. I think it is very interesting. Được. Hoặc và tôi thường đọc sách 2 tiếng chẳng hạn. I usually read for 2 hours before going to bed. Rồi, và tôi nghĩ rằng là và tôi rất thích đọc sách. I love reading books. Đó. Thì bài nói của mình có thể chèn thêm những cái đấy vào thì nó sẽ rất là hay. Ok chưa? Rồi. Okay, so that is all about the speaking test. At home nhá. So do you have smartphone? Em có smartphone ở nhà không?
Dạ không.
Oh, okay, so it might be difficult. So
I have.
okay, so at home, tí nữa cô sẽ gửi cho mẹ một cái link Padlet, được không? Một cái link Padlet, thì link Padlet là kiểu để em có thể share hình ảnh và những cái dòng caption giống như ở nhà, được không nhỉ? Giống như một cái mạng xã hội ấy. Thì tí nữa cô sẽ gửi mẹ một cái link Padlet. Thì cô muốn là từ bây giờ, là hôm nay là thứ 3 đúng không, thì em sẽ cập nhật cái ngày thứ 4 của em trên cái link Padlet đấy. Bắt đầu từ morning, em có thể chụp lại ảnh bữa sáng của mình này, xong rồi em viết lại cái link Padlet đấy cộng với cả dòng caption là hôm nay em ăn bữa sáng với cái gì, xong rồi hết bữa sáng thì em chụp bữa trưa, xong rồi chụp bữa tối, xong rồi chụp trước khi đi ngủ thì em làm gì. Em có thể selfie chụp ảnh gì cũng được. Ok, và chỉ cần viết dòng caption thôi. Đó. Rồi, thế thôi. Thế thôi. I just need only the Wednesday of yours. Okay. So that is all about today. Do you have any question? Do you have any question?
No.
Ok, so tí nữa cô sẽ gửi link Padlet cho em nhé, để em có thể chụp ảnh này, xong rồi đăng ảnh về ngày thứ 4 của mình lên trên đấy, được không? So, okay, thank you for today and see you on Thursday. See you on Thursday. Bye bye.
Goodbye.